GENTANI is an output level, consumption rate, or intensity. It's understanding the real minimum resource you need to carry out a process. GENTANI was first introduced at Camigo Parts Center. They used GENTANI for their bumper cover picking operation. Their cycle times were created by a database from a third party. The operational area was mapped, and this was a great Yokoten opportunity for NAPCC in home position B. The initial condition in home position Bravo was one where we only had one cycle time, 6 minutes per cycle, 6 minutes per slot. This was coupled with an occasional bottleneck at our consolidation station. Here's an analysis of all of our cycle times studied at home position Bravo based on the old 6-minute cycle time. This gave us a variance of plus or minus 60% on any given cycle. You can see here our type 3 work unit chart. On the left, we have mapped out our area in home position Bravo. On the right, you can see our work elements numbered 1 through 18. You can see also that we have some highlighted in yellow. These times are what we call our variable times. They can change depending on the given cycle. All other elements not highlighted are our fixed times. So things such as scanning a location, scanning a part, confirming the quantity, those types of things are fixed. They're the same and repeatable each and every cycle. Based on our initial findings, home position Bravo created an intermediate condition. We studied 100 cycles and found that our single location work assignments were significantly shorter in time. Roughly 37% of our work assignments are single location. We implemented the short-term countermeasure of assigning 3 minutes per slot, 3 minutes for a single location work assignment and 6 for a multiple location assignment. In addition to this, we cut off the back of the board to eliminate man versus machine, and based off of that change alone, we experienced a gain of 17% in our productivity. After the intermediate countermeasure was stabilized, we needed to figure out the rate of travel for each order picker. In addition to this, we also needed to figure out the distance from our consolidation station to each aisle and the distance from the end of each aisle back to the consolidation station. To measure the distance from the consolidation station to the beginning of each aisle, we took a measuring wheel and walked it off from aisle 1 through aisle 10. The distances you see here are from the consolidation station to the beginning of each aisle, and then from the end of each aisle back to consolidation station. We knew that the size of a single drop was 8 feet and 3 inches by measuring, and we also found that the rate of travel of the order picker was 4 feet for every 1 second. So we took those measurements, we divided them by 4 feet, multiplied it by 1 second, and that gave us the total time it took to get from the consolidation to the beginning of each aisle and from the end of each aisle back to consolidation. So now that we know how long it takes to get to the beginning of each aisle, how do I know how long it takes to get from one drop to the next? We calculated the number of remaining drops in an aisle. So for this example, imagine you're picking starting at drop 9. We've measured the amount of time it takes to get from consolidation into your first aisle all the way to drop 9. Your next drop is 2 aisles over, 13 drops deep. We calculated the 11 remaining drops within the aisle, the amount of time it takes to make a safe turn, the 20 drops in aisle 6, the safe turn into aisle 7, and 13 drops deep into the aisle. Remembering that each drop is 8 feet long, taking 2 seconds to travel the length of one drop, we multiply that by the 44 total drops. As you can see in this example, we have our destinations on the far left, we have the number of locations visited, the work assignment number, the starting location, the cycle time, and total pieces within the assignment. On the far right hand side, you can see our average time per work assignment, as well as the total time needed for each and every work assignment to be completed in the day. After the calculation of our distances, as well as creation of the cycle time calculator, we altered our time slots to 1 minute. With each slot being 1 minute, we can accommodate any size assignment. Hi, I'm Brandon Vega, Field Supervisor here at Home Position AB at NAPCC, and this is our GENTANI board. So just explaining a little bit about what happens after the dispatcher sits with the team lead every morning. We dispatch our assignments in this board here. Each slot is 1 minute. There are 67 slots on this board. So every 67 minutes, our team leads have to come back and redispatch the board. Each assignment every morning with the dispatcher and the TL, they sit down and they go through the GENTANI calculator, which generates a cycle time based on all those factors you saw earlier. For instance, this assignment is 5 minutes. They place the assignment in the slot, and then they have 4 minutes afterwards, including this 1 minute equaling 5, and then put the next assignment in the board. The pickers are expected to move their block along with their progress in the middle of the day, or throughout the day. On the left here, we have room for comments, and on the right, we have our pickers listed here that are picking assignments throughout the day. On the top, we have our timeline. It needs to be replaced every 67 minutes. All the way, they're working from left to right, 1 minute per slot. And as you can see here, we're down through 12:26 today. So currently the pickers are on lunch break, so we're at about 11 o'clock, and 11:45 is when they jump right back into picking. So next, we'll move on to home position Bravo, where I'll show you the electronic progress control board, which allows us to get our team leaders back into production. So here in home position Bravo, we have our electronic progress control board. Let me explain how it works. This new version of our progress control board will be replacing the one that you saw in home position Alpha. For this example, we've zoomed in on Picker 1. Picker 1 has two main rows, planned work assignments and actual work assignments. We also have a move to support row, as well as planned home position due and actual home position dues. On the top row, we have current time. The X's keep up with the current time in the day, signifying where we are throughout the operation. The times on the planned home position due row, as well as the actual home position due, are color-coded yellow, green, and red. Yellow being early, green being on time, red being late. A helpful feature built into the board is that it updates itself based on the rest of the day's outlook. For instance, the first 5 minutes from 10:35 to 10:40 are in yellow, signifying that if we picked at this current pace the rest of the destination, that we would finish early. As you can see, between 10:40 and 10:41, the colors changed from yellow to green, signifying that if we kept picking on this current pace, we'll end on time. The board will update minute by minute, adjusting the colors accordingly. When the home position due times are in red, a helpful feature is to move the assignment to support. By clicking above the work assignment in the Move to Support row, there's a drop-down that allows you to move the assignment down to a support picker. This slide shows our planned versus actual cycle times. On the left side, you can see the planned cycle times trending up 1 through 8. On the horizontal, we have actual. When planned meets actual, the colored dots should fall within the gray circles. Take the 4-minute cycles, for example. You can see we have a range anywhere from around 2 minutes and 45 seconds all the way up to 7. They are clustered around the 4-minute mark, but we would like more to fall within that plus or minus 1 minute range. The trend seems to be that most of our cycle times are still coming in early, even after making this change to clear up the variance of each cycle time. Once you get up to the 7-minute cycle times, you can see we have a lot more variance and a lot more room for growth. As you can see, in December of 2017, we began with an LPH of 9.4. Our target was set at 10.8. Continuing to grow to 11.3 throughout the year. The implementation of GENTANI started in February, and as you can see since then, there's been an increase all the way up to 14.8 in the month of June. The last few months, we've seen a slight decrease in LPH due to some changes on our shipping dock regarding man versus machine and machine versus machine. These changes were necessary for the safety of our team members, and the shipping dock is working diligently to regain capacity and alleviate some congestion within our picking operation. So here's an example of a 4-minute cycle from our GENTANI calculator. Each team member begins by retrieving their work assignment. You must obtain a module from the lane. This is an example of a fixed and repeatable time. It should always take the same amount of time. Our team member is driving to the first location, which is aisle 4 for this example. The distance is measured from the consolidation station to the beginning of the aisle, and now the calculator is adding additional time for each drop traveled to get to your first location. Time is given to rise up to each level. Additional time added to scan the part, location, and quantity. Scan by piece is a feature we have in home position Bravo. As you see here, the team members scanned 2 pieces, which is an irregularity. We would like each cycle to be repeatable for the team members, including the scanning of each part. The same amount of time to raise the order picker to the level is now given to lower the order picker. And now he must begin traveling back to consolidation. Another irregularity we see here is equipment traffic, something we deal with on a regular basis, but it's not added into the calculator because it is an irregularity. Now that the team member has returned to the consolidation station, he can grab his next work assignment and he will update the board by moving his block. This cycle was planned for 4 minutes and ended at 3 minutes and 43 seconds. This version of the progress control board has now been replaced with our electronic progress control board. The team members will have the capability of scanning their own work assignments into the system, electronically keeping track of their progress throughout the day.